Hi everyone, I'm back and I've brought friends. We need them because we're not really getting the momentum I want on this project. But this time we're gonna do something. We're gonna shoot stuff at the car and rust is gonna come flying off. This is the shooter. I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna find out what it's called. We're gonna get rid of that rust on that sill and then we're gonna protect it with some spray paint. What can go wrong? I'll see you in there. Hey everyone, welcome back. I guess you didn't think this day would ever come. Behind us, we have Martin and we have a compressor. We are going to be sandblasting, or should I say media blasting, the car. It's going to go well. We're actually using metal like aluminium to blast the car. Martin is here helping. Say hello Martin, give us a wave. There we go, Martin's here. He has set up this side of the car because this is the side that already had the outer sill off. I'm going to be giving it a go, but Martin's experiencing this, so he's going to be directing me and probably doing some of it as well. I've taken some more bits out of the car. I'll go through those later on. But yeah, it's looking good. Let's take a look at what the setup is. So here we are, we're set up. We've got the tarp to try and capture what we can from the sandblaster. And this is the area we're going to be looking at. Now, Martin's had another look and he feels that there has been some welding and repair work done down here before, but it's mainly in reasonable shape. So yeah, we're going to try and get rid of the rust. There are going to be some areas where we're going to have to actually patch things in on the inner sill. This is where there are more problems. So wish us luck. I'm sure it's going to go very well. So this is aluminium oxide abrasive. This is the less abrasive of the two that we've got today.
Yes.
So not actually sand, actually bits of metal being shot at the car. So even though we're outside, we've got some face masks here. We'll make sure that we have them on, stay nice and safe. So it's seriously dirty work, but it's moving forward. It's amazing, and Martin's in there at the moment. I am having a go, and I haven't ruined myself or the car yet, but it's really great to see that rust coming off. It's kind of nice that the color of the metal underneath isn't dissimilar to the color of the rest of the car, so it really feels like you're repairing it as you go. But this is only a first step, and as I said, you know, we're going to have to do all of this work. We're going to have to then prime it to protect it. We're then going to have to work out how we fit those new panels on the side. And we're going to have to use the other side, which is original. Yes, it's rusty, but it shows you the placement of the panels, and something that we've observed on some 944s, that maybe they go to something that's a little bit different to original when they add not only the sill under the door, but particularly where it attaches. And in a lot of photos of original 944s, you can actually see a small seam between the two. And on a lot of 944s, they kind of fill that in. I think we're not going to. We're going to leave the resemblance of a line. That's what we have on the other side of the car. And then when we've completely done this side and it's all back together and we've been able to template it against the other side, that's when we'll start cutting away those bad panels on the other side and doing this whole process all over again. But luckily, it's pretty fun. My God, it's hot and I'm covered in all of this aluminium media stuff, but it's worth it. What we're trying to do here is not the most abrasive and the most aggressive form of blasting, but something that will actually get rid of this rust that we want to get rid of, but leave the metal and definitely the bodywork around it pristine and okay for us to carry on working without having to do much more extensive work on the car. Thank God for Martin in his coat in what must be 26-degree heat. I don't know how he does it. I'm going to get back in there, but it's already looking so much better. Well, you can all see this is much better. There was rust all the way along here. This isn't rust, this is just some of the media, but all the rust along here is gone. And then we get to the back. We've got some filler and some other things to work out, but the rust is gone. Martin's now started working down here as well. But yeah, there's a lot still to do, but it just looks so much better without the rust. So this is the uniform of blasting. In the searing heat, I have my trusty Artlist cap. I have some goggles on, and I have something to stop me breathing this stuff in as well. But my God, is it hot. But we're nearly there with the blasting on this side. Might do some wire wheel work on it as well, some more scraping. And we've got to also then spray over it with primer to stop it getting rusty again. Loads more still to do, but we're coming to the tail end of this bit. So we've taken the back wheel off the car in order to get to some parts that are rusty more easily. We've realised that quite a lot of the suspension isn't really held on the back because the nut is completely sheared off. We've checked it against the other side. There's meant to be a nut and a bolt there. The middle part of the bolt is there, but the nut and the head of the bolt are not there. So, bit sketchy. Neither is there. But look how much better this is looking. We do have a gooey area to get rid of here still, but overall it's looking much, much better. We're using a wire brush on a drill to get into some of those harder to reach areas, of which there's a lot, but the weather is changing on us, which is worrying. It's now a bit cloudy, looking like it might rain. All of the things that we don't need. So we'll get back to it. Okay guys, well, loads has been done. To be fair, it was mainly Martin, but I did have a go. So yeah, we've got rid of all of the rust down here, but we've also ground this back as well to get rid of that horrible sticker that had gone yellow. It's nice that it's clean and tidy. Also all the way down this, we got rid of the rust all the way back here, but then most importantly down here on the inner sill, there are bits that Martin is saying we're going to cut out, so we're going to make some new replacement parts, maybe down here. Let me show you a bit more closely. So yeah, once we've strengthened and fixed up this inner sill, you can see there's some issues here. The outer sill of the car will go here, but Martin very astutely has said that we won't do the other side of the car because we can use it as a template, because that side, even though it's rusty, is original, and we can use it to make sure that we get this bit just right. So thank goodness for experts. So Martin is pretty happy with the way that lots of this has turned out. There's maybe a bit more left in some places than we thought there was, but we do have some concerns down here. So we're mainly good, but some of these bits that have been patched before, maybe we will cut them out, particularly down here, and patch them again. But it's pretty solid inside and out. Could be a lot worse, as Martin suspected. But as we get towards the back here, something is up here. Some welding has been done. There is a nut and bolt that go through here that are holding a rear suspension component in place, but the ends of it are gone. So the end of the nut, or is it the bolt that's gone?
No, it's the bolt head they've sheared off.
Martin says it's actually the bolt head that we've sheared off. Or, no, it's the bolt head someone has sheared off, not us. This is how we found it on this end. We've checked on the other side. It does exist on the other side. So there's a few things here that we need to work out, and Martin is talking about maybe some custom fabrication, but we've got all up in here, we've got all the rust out, but actually it's pretty solid and a good place to start. Martin says it's a good car for a project car, and it was caught at just the right time before maybe going off to scrap. So if we look under here, this part where we're highlighting with the torch was very rusty and horrible, but the head of the bolt that goes through that part in the center is no longer there. This is a concern. So we have to work this out. We've checked the other side, it does exist, but just look how great that looks. That was covered in rust before and no longer covered in rust. the cleaning up process. We basically try and collect as much of this as possible so that we can reuse it for next time. Yeah, saving the environment, guys. One brush stroke at a time. So we're now priming the car. This isn't, you know, like a final primer that isn't necessarily going to get taken off again. This is to seal everything, because now the metal is exposed to the elements. We definitely don't want this rust coming back. So we're covering it all up, and that way we can be fairly sure the rust isn't going to come back between this stage and the next stage, which will be preparing the bits that we need to patch in, and also working out how we're going to fit those new panels that we've got. But maybe as a sneak peek, we will hold them up to the car before the end of this episode. Martin's just told me he's not worried about runs, which is good because we've got a few of them. But like, to be fair, none of this is like in preparation for the thing to be actually sprayed with its final coat or anything. We've got a long way to go. But what we have done, and again, mainly Martin, but I had a go, is to get rid of a load of that rust and get ourselves in a great position for patching this side and getting the inner sill all sorted once we've worked out a couple of weird things, and then getting the outer sill on so that we can get this side of the car buttoned up before we move to the other side. You know, after this, it's home and dry to create an EV from this car. I am filthy. I've got a lot of this stuff in my hair. My wife isn't going to let me in the house, but she may shower me down with a hose outside. There is a pressure hose here. Maybe I should do that. But I'm actually really excited. It's been great to have Martin here helping me. I wouldn't know how to do it otherwise for a start, but he's great company and he knows what he's doing. It's made me really excited for what we can do with the car next. The bodywork on this kind of level is really important, but then it will suddenly become less important as we start focusing on the EV side of things, and then it will become important again once we get past knowing how all of that stuff's going to fit in. But obviously between now and then we can, with a battery, I have a battery of Martin's, we can try and work out what of the electrical systems that are on there actually work, because some of those we're going to want to retain original items like the windscreen wipers and stuff like that. We're going to have to use original items but wire them up to new systems. So progress made. It actually looks so much better, like so much better. I had to show you. Look at this, it's like a new car, guys. Yeah, I know it's not like a final spray job, but look, it doesn't look like it's about to rust and fall apart. Forget that part at the front, underneath there, that front wing, we're chopping that bit off, I think.
Yes, we are.
Martin says we are. I thought we were. So we're going to chop that bit off because we've got a replacement patch panel for that. But look how much better this looks and how we can see really what we've got to do here. I think it's sort of fairly evident the bits where we need to do some repairs. But we've really got to work out what's going on here and fix that. But yeah, doesn't it look better? I feel like I've learned loads this week. It's really fun sandblasting the car. It's kind of like hoovering a really dirty room and it coming out really nice. I can't wait to do more of that. But do you have any questions about the process that we're going through? I might not have the answers, but Martin probably does. And also, what colour should this car be in the end? I'm really interested to hear what you think, so do comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe and like if you can, and I'll see you next time.